Hello everybody, it's TannerFishies here, back again with a new Ninjago video here on the channel. In today's video, we are going to be discussing yet another Ninjago tweet made by Ninjago series co-creator Tommy Andreasen over on his infamous Twitter account. Now, we discuss on this channel a whole bunch of information that comes out of Tommy Andreasen's Twitter, and for good reason. The guy tweets a whole lot. A lot of those tweets involve hints or clues as to what the future of Ninjago may hold, and some of his tweets even go back to older Ninjago to reference previous ideas or concepts that we still have not seen play out fully in the modern day. That's exactly what we're going to be talking about in today's video, and we're going to be discussing some recent comments made by Tommy Andreasen on Twitter about Jay's mother, his biological birth mother, and the tweet itself kind of debunks her involvement with the upcoming Ninjago storylines in any capacity. To me, it seems like Tommy Andreasen doesn't really have any current plans to bring this character into the Ninjago series or expand on her a little bit more after we saw her previously in storylines like Hands of Time. And again, the tweet that supports that statement reads as follows. So somebody over on Twitter decided to ask Tommy Andreasen, will we learn more about Jay's mother? To which Tommy Andreasen replies with simply, no plans. So it seems like we're not going to be getting any storylines involving Jay's biological or birth mother in the future, which is honestly kind of disappointing, but I do understand why. We'll get to that later on. But first things first, Jay's mother is a concept that a lot of Ninjago fans really want to see more information on. When we found out during Skybound that Jay was actually adopted and that Ed and Edna were not his biological parents, that was a pretty big shift in terms of how Ninjago fans viewed the character of Jay, especially in regard to his history. A lot of Ninjago fans desperately wanted more answers as to what exactly his history was all about. We know that Cliff Gordon is his biological father, who of course was one of Jay's favorite actors, or at least he was at the time, but his family history we still were pretty much in the dark on until Hands of Time came out and we were introduced to the character of the Master of Lightning. She never had an official name in the context of the series, but I've heard people refer to her as Libber, L-I-B-B-E-R, but I'm not exactly sure where that name came from, who discovered that, who thought of that first, and from what medium it originates. So we're just going to be referring to her as the Master of Lightning or simply Jay's mother. Regardless though, we saw Jay's mother during Hands of Time, and the character seemed to be very much like Jay in terms of personality and elemental power. This character acted a lot like Jay. She was very young during this time period, and she had a lot of the same mannerisms and characteristics of the Ninja of Lightning that we know so fondly today. But that's pretty much it. That's all we know about her character. We don't know exactly what her relationship was like with Cliff Gordon, what caused their separation, what led to them giving Jay up for adoption, and more importantly, where exactly she is. We know in the context of Ninjago right now, Cliff Gordon is pretty much passed away. He passed away during Skybound, and regardless of the whole timeline debacle that Skybound introduced, the character is still very much dead in the modern day. But we're not sure about Jay's mother. We're not sure where exactly she is, if she's even still alive. We just know that she existed at one point, but she's not around much anymore. And according to Tommy Andreasen, it seems like those questions will never be answered, which is kind of disappointing. Ninjago fans have been asking about Jay's mother for years on end now, and I do agree we need to see some type of history regarding her character, or at least a little bit more context, which again involve a whole lot of questions, especially where she is. Is she alive? Is she dead? We simply don't know, and it seems like we're not going to know for quite some time at least. Because again, as of right now, Tommy Andreasen has no plans to bring in the character of Jay's mother, or the original Master of Lightning. In terms of why they don't have any plans for Jay's mother, to me, simply maybe that storyline doesn't need to be told. I can understand why we won't end up seeing it if it never does eventually happen. The character of Jay right now doesn't really need that in order to be developed even further. The character has had several storylines before in the past that have defined his character and pushed him more than having his past to be revealed in that way. Jay's past may be a mystery, but again, that doesn't really drive his character like it might for somebody like Zane or even Cole to an extent. During the early Ninjago seasons, Zane was all about discovering who he was and what exactly his past was. For Jay, we never really saw anything like that, and as such, that never really defined his character or increased it in any way. Jay has had several storylines dedicated to himself over the entirety of Ninjago's run, and I believe those storylines deserve credit for building his character up in the eyes of many fans, instead of his past, which was never really alluded to, aside from the obvious statement of him being adopted and his real father being Cliff Gordon. So I can understand why somebody like Tommy Andreasen would not really feel it necessary to provide that context to Jay's past. It's not the past that he remembers, it's not the past that defined him as a character, instead that lies within Ed and Edna and their junkyard. Ed and Edna have been fantastic parents to Jay over the entirety of Ninjago's run, and all things considered, they are Jay's real parents here. Maybe not real by biology or blood, but real in terms of parental figures. The only thing that Jay received from his birth family was his lightning powers. Otherwise, Ed and Edna supplied him with a loving home, a loving family throughout Jay's entire life, up until his time as a ninja. So again, if there's no plans for Tommy Andreasen or the Ninjago staff to introduce Jay's mother in any capacity, then I can totally understand that. That's not necessary for Jay's character. With that being said though, I feel like myself and many other Ninjago fans would still like some type of context as to what exactly her story is. Who exactly was Jay's mother? What exactly was her ambitions in life? Why did she marry Cliff Gordon? What was that relationship like? I feel like that storyline could still be explored, whether that be in the form of the Ninjago TV series or comic books. Since the Garmadon comic is releasing very soon, we know that Ninjago is very much taking liberties to expand beyond the TV show. Something like Spinjitzu Brothers, for example, is a fantastic spin-off series that is still canon to the overall Ninjago storyline from the show, but it takes itself in a different direction. It defines a different story, and it builds upon different characters. Same thing with the Garmadon comic. If certain characters are getting spin-off comics or books now, could we see the Master of Lightning get a storyline such as this? I think that's totally possible. Likely is a different story, but possible most definitely. The Ninjago series could totally release a Master of Lightning comic set during the Master of Lightning's early adventures, and maybe the storyline could explain where she met Cliff Gordon, what their relationship was like, and what exactly led to Jay being Jay. I think introducing a spin-off comic or even a storyline dedicated to Jay's mother would be an excellent idea because we can see more of what her character was all about and the backstory surrounding her. Otherwise, in terms of introducing her into the future of Ninjago, they could totally do that as well. They could totally do something similar to that of Rei and Maya, where you think that this character might be dead or this character has been missing for a long time, but then they return in the modern day to meet up with their children once again. Maybe we could see Jay go through something similar with the Master of Lightning. I'm not sure what exact context that would, involve or how exactly she would return. If she is dead, then she's probably not going to be coming back, but if she's alive out there somewhere, yeah, totally, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't bring her back. Aside from, again, prioritizing Jay's character and his development through other means, as opposed to revealing his backstory, his past, his history, and in regard to his family, again, that's not really important for the character of Jay to experience and develop. He's already had enough development in other places. Naturally, as a huge fan of Ninjago lore and the history surrounding these characters, I would like to see Jay's mother come back at some point, but I can understand why people like Tommy Andreasen don't really feel the need to introduce that character. I get it, I understand it, and I respect it to an extent as well. In a way though, I'm kind of dying to find out who exactly this character was, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like we're going to be getting any type of backstory or context anytime soon, which is always okay. So with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. That'll pretty much wrap it up from my thoughts here today. Leave a comment down below discussing what exactly you would like to see for a possible storyline regarding Jay's mother, and what do you think about the idea that we might not ever find out her backstory or her origin? Leave all your thoughts down below in the comments, you guys. Let me know what you thought of the video, and hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and as always, check out the links down below in the description for other forms of social media. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Once again, you guys, my name is TannerFishies, and with that, I bid you farewell.